Hello internet world, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and I make semi-regular videos. Today I thought I would do a video about studying, what I'm doing for studying, why I chose to study, how I stay motivated studying from like doing distance learning and working full-time and having a life, which I don't really have much of, and you know, all those sorts of things. So why did I start studying in the first place? For me, I never feel fully satisfied unless I'm striving towards something, which is why I did YouTube and set up Etsy stores and, you know, all those things. And I wasn't getting along with YouTube anymore. My Etsy store we couldn't really do because of moving and things like that. And we're still getting things set up here to be able to sort of properly relaunch things and get going again. And also the job that I'm in at the moment, I enjoy it, but I don't know if it offers the security. I think it does because we don't really know where a state agency is going. And in honesty, I just wanted to gain a qualification in something and learn something that I was interested in and that I could maybe take with me in the future. That was relevant to the future because there are lots of degrees you can do which maybe won't get you anywhere, but the one I chose I feel is a sensible choice and something that I'm interested in. So I'm doing a computing and IT degree, which incorporates maths and science and, you know, IT and all those great things, which I feel is important because that's the way the world is going. And I feel that it's a good degree for me to be learning because then I'm prepared for, I feel that that's where jobs are going to go. And I'm interested by it. I'm fascinated by how the internet works and networking and all those sorts of things. I find it interesting. I feel that it would be helpful for anything I want to do in the internet world as well. And just being good, there's lots of sort of working from home and freelancey bits and I can make my own sort of business doing lots of computing and IT things because lots of people will always need help learning how to do things with computers and all those things. So I just felt it was a sensible thing to do, and as I say, I'm interested by it. I could be very wrong in this and it might be a terrible decision, but you know, I'm enjoying it so far. So I took on, so you can do your course in 3 years, like a normal degree in the UK, or you can do it in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. I think you get up to sort of 12 years to do it, which is a long time, and I'd like to be done sooner than that. If you do it part-time, they say it generally takes 6 years to do, and because I'm working and hopefully thinking about children and things like that, I wanted to do it part-time alongside everything else I'm doing so that when I'm sort of 30, I have a degree in something that I can then spend my 30s enjoying and my 40s enjoying and my 50s enjoying, hopefully. It's still a long time. Like, I don't think you're ever too old to learn something. And actually an ex-boyfriend's mum, one of my ex-boyfriends, his mum learnt to be a midwife later on in life. And again, you know, she's now fulfilling a career that she always wanted to do. So, you know, at 25, I don't feel like I'm too old to be learning something and doing a degree. So don't let age put you off. I'm an impatient person, so I wanted to get it done a bit quicker than 6 years, but knew I couldn't do it full-time and work full-time and sustain a house or a flat with a partner and have a life. So they say take on 2 modules per term, I guess, or per year. If you're doing it part-time, I took on 3 for the first bit because the first year or the first, you know, bit that you're doing would always be easier. Don't get me wrong, it's still a challenge and it still means that I have to structure every part of my day and my week, and it means that the year is flying by, but I don't know, I just thought I could do it. I have the motivation to do it, so why not? So how I keep everything organised, I have many ways. So I guess I will start with my trusty planner. This is the Happy Planner, which I actually originally bought to do my stickers in when I ran a little sticker company, which I actually loved doing this, but I kind of ran out of time and we moved back from Thailand, which made it more difficult to do it again, and life just got a bit manic. But this is actually very relevant to my living room at the moment because it's full of cacti. But anyway, I obviously still use the planner, and what I like about it is, let's go to one I haven't written in. So this is the monthly view, so I can write in any exams I have coming up, any significant events, and I like to write in significant events for not only studying but life events and work events and days off and bank holidays and all those things. I like to have it all noted down because if we've got a family birthday, I know I'm going to have less of a chance to study, or if we're going to have a party and I'm going to drink, I'm not going to study probably the next day a great deal. So and you know, if things come up or if we're babysitting, I can see it all here, I don't get overwhelmed, and then I feel partially planned. And then you go into a weekly view, which, and this is again a month that I hadn't used because it's a previous month, and so then I'll put in every week what's coming up, and again work schedules and all those things, and so it's all in there. And I like to try and write down exactly what I'll be studying, but you can't definitely do that. And I found that when I was writing down exactly what I was going to be studying, I didn't quite achieve it for that week. It made me feel really bad about myself, so I try and keep it a bit more loose, but also this needs to be done by this date and all those sorts of things. Yeah, so I have my binder, which I like to go and every now and again buy cheap, this was £2, so buy cheap stationery, and obviously try and use it all, but buy cheap stationery that's cute and inspiring. I feel so much more inspired to be productive when I have stationery that I like, and that is fresh and inspiring and new and not expensive. So again, as I say, this was £2. It's just a cute binder that I got from Wilko's, which is the best store known to man. I hear great things about Home Bargains, but I haven't been yet, so I can't deny or confirm that. Maybe I'll do a haul somewhere soon there. But it's just got a plain pad in it, and the first page, which can obviously be ripped out, is any assignments that I have due. And actually I also put on here the bills that I need to pay because there's a couple of things coming up. But I use this for scrap sort of stuff, I guess, and also important things like having my dates for my exams in the first bit of it. But I like to use it for scrap things because I have books. So I have 3 different modules, and for those modules I have a little A5 book that I'll write as nice as I can, all the notes that I need to remember and all those things, and I like to keep these neat and organised. But there are activities that you have to do sometimes, and there are things that I like to practice, and so that's where the binder comes in, because I can just scribble in here and I don't feel like I've messed up my lovely work, which sounds very anal, but that's how I like to work. I can't be messy, it frustrates me, I like everything to be in order. And that's how I do it. The next thing I do is I print off all of so these are the next 3 exams I've got coming up. I print, there's the next 3 paper exams I have coming up. There are online exams you do as well, but these are paper exams which you can submit online. But I print them all off so that I know when the dates are, so I can write that down. I know what needs to be answered, and I know what to look for when I'm studying. So they're very good. They want you to do well at the Open University, which is where I'm studying, if I didn't mention that already. And they tell you what certain questions, which part of, and I won't show you any of this because obviously that would be, I would get myself into a lot of trouble doing so. But they tell you, you know, like question 1 is based on this unit. So I like to work. And again, I use my binder for scrapping down answers to questions before I do the final answer to send in. And it means that I can study a unit and with a question in mind and go, well, now I know how to answer that one. And I don't have to remember a whole module and then do answers to questions. So I enjoy doing it that way. It makes me feel like I'm progressing, I stress out less, and I just feel more prepared when the exam comes around. So that's the next thing I do. The next thing I like to do is have, again with the stationery, this is a less practical must do, must not do, but just while I'm picking things up, I like to have my pencil case with highlighters, pencils, pens, you know, rubbers and all those sorts of things, but things that I really think are cute, like look, a little cactus rubber, and just like a little cassette rubber, and just nice pens, different coloured pens, and just, again, it makes me feel inspired. And I have a drawer full of pens and pencils, or me and Shan do, but this is mine specifically for studying, and if I work in that way, it's all there and I can do it all, and it just makes me feel better and more relaxed about it. The next thing I do, or have, and a tool that I use because I find it helpful, is one of these like clipboards, and again, sometimes I like to, if there's something coming up soon, I'll just get a scrap bit of paper, put it in here, and then write in with a Sharpie on this, and just lean it up against my office space, which is there, kind of where that poster is, and I lean it just up on the side up there with, you know, cut-off date for this or whatever, or important notes, you know, or if I've done some scrap work in my binder and I want to refer back to it or see it quite easily while I'm writing an answer to a question, I again will attach it to this. It's also very good for if I'm writing in bed and I've just got scrap paper or whatever. Before I had the binder, I used this a lot more, but I still find it a useful tool to have, again with organising my thoughts. And I have scrap paper here, things like previous exams that I have written on one side and then emailed it in. I can still use the other side for scrap paper. I don't like to throw away. Of course I recycle what I do, but I feel like it's pointless to throw it away. So I keep a clipboard of scrap paper, I guess, for bits and bobs. So if I was to bring all of my books and things that they sent for each module, you'd be really overwhelmed, because to think you have to read through them all in a year and get it all done, it's just too much. So one thing they recommend doing, and I wholeheartedly agree, is separate. So all of my books that I need for studying are in my office space. They're tucked away. I actually can't see them when I'm over there at all, so that because I get overwhelmed by things very easily, and I always think about the worst situations and all those sorts of things. So I just tuck them away completely because I don't want to see them, I don't want to know about them, and I just keep the 2 or 3 books that I need. So my first module for one of my first block, I guess, for one of my modules was completely online, so I didn't have a book. But this time, for all 3 of them, I have books. So what I do is I have the Open University book that I need, and I also have an A5 book for each module. I was actually originally trying to do it for each block, but you don't always fill up a notepad, so I just keep it for each module. I just slip it into sort of the front or whatever page it is I'm reading, so it's there and it's ready for when I need it. Same with this one, which is another module, and my maths one, which is just here. And I like to keep them separate, because otherwise you can't read. I'll be doing one studying of maths, for example, and I'll get that complete and it'll all be written into one of these, everything I need to remember. And then if I was to use this same book for the sort of networking thing that I'm doing at the moment, and that would be on the next page, it just wouldn't read very well, and I wouldn't be able to find my notes very easily. Whereas if I know it's all in one book, I can flick through and it'll be in order of where I've studied and things, and so it feels neater, more organised. I might go over the top with organisation, but I'd rather be that way and have everything there than be forgetting things and having to run around and just, like, honestly, my planner is a godsend, and so are all the little tips and tricks I suppose I've learned. So my biggest tips and tricks, I suppose, are stay on top of things and be organised. Just do little bits at a time. Cramming stuff is just, it's so stressful to do, and I've done it, and it's resulted in worse results in certain things. Don't be too stressed if you get one bad result, because they will weigh out every exam you do, and you'll get an average score, so it might bring it down a small amount, but generally on the whole, if you try your hardest, you should do okay. The pass mark, this is going to sound really lazy, the pass mark isn't actually that high. I always strive to do as good as possible, of course, but if you're doing a module if you've got a module that you're really struggling on, or you're having a really hard time, and it's not your favourite thing you've been studying, because there will be bits that you don't enjoy as much as other bits, don't stress too much. Just get the information written down, as I said, in notes. Write up a comprehensive answer to the best of your ability and move on from it, and just know that there will be the next part of the module you might enjoy more and you might sort of click with more. So I will keep you updated on my journey and how I go. I've tried this before and it didn't work out, but unfortunately when I tried it before, my mum had just passed away, so I mean, in fairness, I wasn't in the right place to be studying. So yeah, that's all I have for this video, I suppose. I just wanted to let you know about my distance learning, just again, more of an insight as to what I'm doing with my life and in my world, I suppose. And if any of you guys are thinking about doing it, I definitely recommend it. And if you need any help, or you want to talk to me, or you are studying and you want like a study buddy or someone to like give you motivation and be there, and you know, you can motivate me too, like having a fitness buddy, then let me know, send me a message or whatever. You know, my email's always down there, my social medias are always down there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back very soon with something different. It's always going to be varied on my channel, so if you don't like this kind of video, wait for the next one. Maybe you'll enjoy that more, and leave suggestions. If there's something you want to see, I will probably film it within reason. Give us a thumbs up, hit the notification thing, do all the commenting and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what this is. Bye! I can feel your energy.